Yo, back at it again. What's up, boys? I'm sick as a motherfucker. I've been sick for like 2 weeks. It's been awful. So I haven't been going to the gym, which is unfortunate, but I'm getting big. I can feel it. I can fucking feel it. You fucking look at that motherfucker. Alright, anyways. So, my God, it's been crazy these past 2 weeks. So, long-term girlfriend visited. We spent a week together. That was awesome. She's great. Met her on Azeroth in World of Warcraft. Tell me you can't find love online. Yep, I did, motherfucker. And the stock market, man, holy shit. I'll never forget that feeling of buying stocks when the VIX was 50. If you don't know what the VIX is, pretty much the VIX is the volatility index, and that's usually when that volatility is really high, that means there's a shitload of fear, like factually, right? So ignoring the news, ignoring the headlines, ignoring like how the news wants you to feel and how, like, you know, it's artificial, right? You want to look at like actual fear. Like, when is there real fear in the market? When volatility is really fucking high. So the VIX was over 50, which is historically just the best time to buy stocks. And it turned out to be a fucking generational opportunity. So yeah, obviously things could crash. They could go back down. So I actually sold a lot of stocks Friday when the market was like fucking peaking. I sold some Palantir. I sold some Tesla. I sold some CrowdStrike. Obviously I'm up fucking, my God, like 1,500% on Palantir. I'm up like 200% on Tesla, and I'm up, I think, 100. I was up 100% on CrowdStrike. So I took some profits. I have some cash sitting on the sidelines now. So I'm about 20% cash. I was literally like 0% cash. I bought that fucking dip, hook, line, and sinker. I bought them. I got an overdraft fee on my fucking checking account. No bullshit. $30 overdraft fee. I called them and I got that shit reverted, because I had a couple thousand in my savings account. But when I tell you guys I'm investing, I'm fucking investing. I don't fucking play around. Now, I have money in my buying power on Robinhood, but that obviously is like completely separate from my bank account, like how my bills get paid. But when I bought that dip, I bought that motherfucking dip. I went crazy. I was buying fucking Microsoft. I was buying fucking Facebook. I was buying Meta, obviously Facebook, Meta. My God. And it was scary in the moment, because like I was like, holy shit, what if it drops another 20%? But it was a man-made panic. It wasn't like oh my God, employment rate shot up or inflation shot up. There was no statistic behind why the market crashed, which is why it was such a generational opportunity, which is why I was telling everyone in my fucking Discord, like, yo, buy stocks right now. Like, this is it. I was screenshotting every time I bought. I called the bottom to the penny. I have a fucking paper trail of that. I called the bottom. The exact tick of the market when it bottomed, I bought and I called it, which was fucking crazy luck. But let me hit a pull real quick. Hang on. Hold up. Oh, it's so nice out today. All right, here we go. Let's rip it. Woo! Hey, whoa. Jesus, that guy almost flew out. All right, so, yeah. Dude, like, the fear that I felt, the uncertainty, the news headlines, like, I had moments of doubt where I thought, well, shit, should I just sell everything right now and go all cash? Like, is this shit gonna get bad? Like, I'm typically very neutral. Like, I don't watch the news. I don't let it affect me. But when you have that much cash on the sidelines, fucking zero. I mean, zero. I had like $5,000. I had like $10,000, you know, that I could scrape together. God forbid. But like, I was really invested. Right now, I have much more cash now. God forbid. But I didn't take the cash out at the bottom. I took it out on Friday, which is like, we're almost at all-time highs again. So I have a feeling that we're going to retest the lows. I don't know, man. It feels like it was too easy. The market's up 30% from the bottom, and I feel like it was too easy for it to just be. It was that easy. Like, it crashed. It was a bottom. I called it. I bought the fuck out of it, and now we're going to shoot all the way back up. I don't feel like that's how it's going to play out. It's just, it's too good for me. Like, I knew it never works out like that. Like, it's never the easiest way. Like, looking back at history, right? Like, this just never for my portfolio. It's never been like, oh, I picked the bottom perfectly and I picked the top perfectly and we're going up to the moon now. So I think we're going to see some turbulent times. I think we're going to see some, we already saw a China deal. We already saw all the deals. They're all priced in. We saw everything, all the good news possible, right? I mean, it's all priced in already, and the market's still not at all-time highs, which I think is a red flag. I know the market's been up so much in the past couple weeks, but also the fact that the market is not up all the way back and it's not retesting the highs makes me think that there's room to go down. Like, the market should have tested the highs. If people truly were, and we were out of the woods and everyone was happy and it was great and we were not worried anymore, then, you know, okay. Then that's fine. That's valid, and we'll get a test of the highs. And then we could decide, right? If we really, truly were all priced in and everything was good and no one was mad anymore and the tariffs were all set, then I think we would be breaking out to new all-time highs, right? Logically. But we're not. We're kind of just sitting up at like a supply zone. And typically with a supply zone, it takes the market, it takes big players in the market a lot of time to exit their positions, right? So when you're like a big hedge fund or a big mutual fund and you want to exit the S&P 500, right? And you want to start selling shares, you can't just sell shares. Like, it doesn't just work like that. You can't just sell your shares and be like, oh, I'm out, and you're done, right? No, sorry, I'm putting my front camera on. I'm parking right now. It's actually kind of a pain in the ass to get out. Like, you can't just get out. So the reason I say that is, you know, there's a lot of technical indicators you can like look to see if like a big player is getting out of the market. You can look to see, they usually leave some evidence, some trails, some paper trails of like, oh, they're getting out. This is a huge dark pool order. A dark pool is if you want to do a really big transaction really quickly and not affect the market, then you use a dark pool transaction, which is a trade between two different hedge funds. So you might see, or it might be one hedge fund selling to 10 others. So you might see some really huge dark pools at the top, which we do see, and we have seen them last time. And we're seeing them again already, right, in the past couple days. So it's, you know, yeah, you have a big seller, and, you know, yes, someone's buying that sell. So is that even relevant? If someone's buying a huge chunk, it's a net even. But then you have to worry, like, oh, what if some big hedge fund is deleveraging, right? What if they're selling billions of dollars of stock, and they're selling it to 15 different hedge funds who are all paying with cash, and they are levered? So there's a lot of complexities to it, and typically it's not a good sign, right? When you see large, huge dark pools, when you're approaching the highs at the top, it's usually not a good sign. When you see huge dark pools at the very bottom, that's usually a sign like, okay, there's a hedge fund levering up. Like, they're buying a fuckload of stock, they're using leverage, and they're buying it from a ton of different institutions. That's usually a bullish signal, right? When you see dark pools when you're approaching the lows, when you see dark pools when you're approaching the highs, use basic common sense. It's like, why would there be a huge transaction right now? Why didn't they do it last week? Why did they wait? Because it's probably a sell. It's not a buy. These hedge funds they don't buy the top and sell the low. They do the opposite, right? So I think we're going to see a 1998 kind of situation play out before the dot-com crash. I think we're going to see the market retest the lows, not break them, and that's going to be another buying opportunity. It might break the lows a little bit to be a stop hunt. You might see a break of the low by like $1, and then it'll shoot back up. But I don't think there's going to be a new all-time high without a test of the lows, my personal opinion. I hope there is a test of the lows. I really do. If not, I'm still heavily invested. I'm about 80% in the market. I'm 20% cash, so I hedged myself. God forbid we do retest the lows. Not God forbid. I hope we retest the lows so I can buy more stock. I hope we crash 50%. But yeah, man. Anyways, guys, every $5 you spend when you're 18 years old is actually like 25 grand when you're 50. So lock in, skip the Starbucks, make the coffee at home. I know it's cliche, but it's fucking just basic math. You know, if you invest that $5 in the S&P 500 instead of buying a fucking latte, in 30 years, that money will be 25 grand, right? Do that over the course of every single day, $5 a day when you're 18. You're talking millions of dollars when you're 40 years old, right? If you play your cards right. I'm not a financial advisor. Invest early, invest often. You will be retired when you're 40, but it's not definite. The market could crash and you could lose everything, and it's over. And if that happens, then we're all out of jobs, and I think fucking society's collapsed, and it's over. And I'll see you guys. We'll be PvPing in Walmart or some shit. Who knows? But yeah, All right, boys. I hope you enjoyed this little talk. You know where to find me on Discord. Tarkov wipe. I don't know. I'm a gamer, and I miss playing games. I've been playing a lot of League. I think I'm Diamond 2 right now. I started Emerald 3 2 weeks ago, so I'm climbing back to Masters. But God, I hate that fucking game. I'm addicted though, so I can't quit. All right, I gotta get into the gym. So it's been lovely talking. We'll do more of these soon. And yeah, boys, let me know if you have any questions. Just hit me up on Discord. All right, man. Peace.